Uh, hey, everybody, welcome to another week of Ryan and Rodrigo. And this week, we're really lucky to be joined by an old friend of Rodrigo, someone I was never lucky enough to meet until today, Kate, someone who came to Brazil and visited. And now we're lucky enough to have a big reunion party. So,
Hooray!
Rodrigo, can you just tell us really quickly about Kate? Something to introduce us.
I think I can. Kate is an adjective, a good adjective I'd have to describe her. It would be peculiar. She's Kate. She's
I don't disagree.
all right. So uh, she's one of my favorite people ever. She's peculiar. She's how can I say? She has strong opinions about most things, including me, including myself, and herself, and um, that's it. She's just interesting. Okay, uh, I think this will be fun. All right. I don't want Kate. I would never ask Kate to describe me or to. So don't. All right.
No?
Opening a can of worms.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Kate, where are you coming from today? Where are you living right now?
Right now, I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm just coming to you from my living room. I have a nice big window, so I tried to get the lighting right, but we'll see. Yeah. Where are you at today?
Well, I am here in my home office where I spend way too much of my time nowadays. And it just got a nice redecoration. I've got a Star Trek poster,
Wow.
Rick and Morty poster, and the Portland Trailblazers here, my hometown basketball team.
Well, I
So
gotta
that's where
say,
I'm
I
coming
feel like
from.
I'm meeting a celebrity because Fabio and Rodrigo have talked so much about you that it's like I can't believe this is the first time we're talking. They both say that
Don't go
you're like
there.
one of their best friends ever.
Don't go
And the
there.
myth of
Don't
Kate
go
is
there.
strong, let me say.
Oh
It's
man,
like
that's funny.
trying after I came to Brazil, it was like trying to measure up against some like epic hero. The American Kate, my American friend Kate, Ryan. Like, oh my God, shut up about Kate.
Oh man, oh man. Well, two legends meet at this point then,
That's right. Two
Well,
legends
that's
and Rodrigo
and Guillermo.
and
that's
some
just
guy.
Guillermo. I'm your Guillermo, Ryan.
Okay, cool.
So that's you consider yourselves legends. That's just because you haven't met us.
Yeah.
That's the real American legend, all the way from Hooks, Texas. He's the legend.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because Utah and Portland, Texas, that's nice. Okay. Uh, um,
Well, Kate.
sorry, guys. I'm just
to
checking something here.
All right, well, you figure that out. And I have to ask Kate, like, when you came to Brazil and you started teaching, you met Rodrigo, and I'm really curious, like, what was your first impression of Rodrigo?
Well, I mean, when I came to Brazil, I was like 18 years old, so I was pretty young, and I don't know,
Young
from
and
the
innocent,
first
you know.
exactly, and I was never the same after that, never the same. But I don't know, he was just kind of one of those people that when I met him, I was like, this guy, I like him. Like he's just like a genuine person, and I just really was attracted to that. And same with Fabio too, like both just super cool, genuine people. And I was traveling like, halfway around the world by myself. And I don't know, just something about them told me that they weren't gonna like harvest my organs and throw me in a dumpster. So I was
Not
grateful for
enough
that.
time.
You couldn't get me on the first time around. It had to be round two, right?
Exactly.
After he builds
Thankfully,
up a
I
little
never
bit of
came
trust.
back. Exactly.
Yeah. When I
When you
first
got
came
to the point
Brazil,
you
though,
noticed,
The first person that I met in Brazil after my wife was Fabio. Actually, I didn't meet Rodrigo until several months later. But the first person I met was Fabio, and it was because my wife, my girlfriend at the time, wanted to go to a concert without me. She had tickets ahead of time, and she said, "Oh, Ryan, you're not coming to this concert. I'm going with some friends. So I'm going to dump you off with my friend here. You'll have fun." And I said, "Who? I don't know this guy. I've never met him." "No, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to have fun with this guy." And so she left me at the train station and said, "Don't worry, Fabio will be here soon." Okay. So I was just left at the Santo Andre station by myself.
Oh man.
For Fabio to come and find me. And luckily he did. I mean, I think I kind of stand out. Fabio must have shown up and been like, "Oh yeah, it's the gringo. That's him."
That's the one. I mean, I'm trying to remember how I met Fabio. I think like back in the day there was just this, I think I met him on like Skype, or like there was this website for like language learning or whatever, where you would get matched up with people that spoke the language that you wanted to learn, and then you would just try to teach each other. So I think that's how I met him. I didn't come to Brazil like because of him, but I don't know, I just kind of like wanted to go to Brazil, and then it just kind of materialized that we ended up kind of hanging out, but I knew him beforehand. And no regrets. Not at all.
I can say the same about Fabio.
Yeah.
I can't.
Fabio, he's a cool guy. I love Fabio.
Okay. Sorry, Ryan. I think I'm getting a delay here. That's why I'm late at everything I say. Say something, guys. See, I see you move, and then I hear your sound 5 minutes later.
So are you, when I talk, do you have a delay?
No, it's Ryan.
What about when I talk? Is it a little slow?
Yes.
It's fine for me on my end.
Yeah.
You think maybe if I leave and get back?
Maybe, yeah. Rodrigo, if you leave and then come back, we can try.
All right. Are you going to accept me if I get back? We're just gonna.
I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with Kate, so we'll
talk it over when you leave.
Yeah, we'll discuss it.
Well, this is being recorded, right? So, right.
I can always cut it out. I'm the video editor, man. I have power.
Yeah.
That's some mad skills right there. Video editing's so hard.
Yeah, but if you do the minimal amount of video editing that I do, it's so easy.
You just chop and take out the parts you don't like?
Exactly. That's it.
There you go. Did he leave already?
Yeah, he's gone. What do you want to say about him while he's gone? Anything?
No. He called me peculiar, but I would argue that he's equally as peculiar as I am.
or more.
Or more. But it's all like I have nothing but love for him. He's such a cool guy. Oh, man,
I don't think I've ever met a more American person than Rodrigo. And he's never been there.
I know. He's like listening to country music, and he's got his flag that did he tell you about the flag that I gave him?
The Confederate flag?
It's like half Confederate, half Alabama, I think.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Man. And
that's back in those historic days, flag. So you got to keep it up just to, teach the history or something.
Exactly. And back in those days, I was like so obsessed with flags for some reason. So I got Fabio an American one, I got him the Confederate one, and then I just had flags from everywhere. But no.
Did you have a fun with flags show like Sheldon?
No. Oh my gosh, no. I like that show though.
How's the sound now? Can you hear me? Is it all right?
Yeah. No, I can hear you just fine. That's why I'm wearing these headphones, because I hate it when like the sound is circular, like you can hear yourself talk. Like, yeah. Nothing bothers me more than that, I gotta say.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
There you are. Hello. Welcome back.
I was Yeah, I was listening to all y'all talking about the
Executive
flag.
decision. We allowed you to come back. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Nice. I have a nice manager. Ryan's my manager. I'm just a stage manager, right? Guillermo, that's me. Ryan, you can call me Guillermo.
I'm the manager, and Rodrigo is the talent, supposedly.
He's the one that everybody likes. Well, I mean, not to infer that nobody likes you, but
I'm the assistant manager.
Assistant to the manager. Come on.
Well, it's just a detail. Now let's get back to Caitlin. Something very interesting, very peculiar, as I was saying before. Caitlin, Caitlin, you have a lot of, you like very different things, right? You like things that amazes everybody when they hear about. So tell me, Kate, the languages you studied, not that you speak, but the languages. Tell me about all the languages you studied.
oh, the languages I studied. So I studied a lot of languages. So my family is actually German. So I grew up around German. All four of my grandparents were immigrants, German immigrants to America. So that was kind of like my first exposure to another language. And then after that, I started studying Spanish when I was about 9. And then I taught myself Portuguese when I was about 15. And then I went on to study Italian. I got a minor in Arabic, studied some Turkish, took some French classes. I think that's it. Maybe another one or two, but that's the majority. I had like a goal at one point that I wanted to speak 10 languages just so I could be a hyper polyglot, but then that kind of fell by the wayside and I not really interested in doing that anymore. I'm kind of happy where I'm at. Yeah, hyper polyglots, I think, when you speak 10 or more languages. So I wanted to, my mom actually thought I spoke Russian for a little bit because I used to date guys that spoke a bunch of different languages. And so anytime I would date someone, she would think that I just automatically learned that language. And so I was dating a Russian guy. And so she went around telling everybody that I spoke Russian, but I literally had never studied Russian a day in my life. So.
Okay. All right.
So are you a polyglot today?
Yeah, I do still speak multiple languages. I'm not fluent in a lot. So I would say I speak Portuguese and Spanish pretty well. Arabic, I can understand it more than I can speak it. And same with German and Italian.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Italian, you just speak like Portuguese with your hand, and then it's
exactly
Italian. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Can we? I think one day we should have a Portuguese off with Ryan and Kate.
I would.
Should we do it right now?
No, I lose.
Nah. Yeah.
I'm ready.
I don't think Ryan will be.
My Portuguese isn't that good anymore. I don't really use it that much.
I can understand Portuguese, but when I try to speak it, it sounds so retarded. Oh no, I shouldn't say that word. It does. It sounds like a.
Oh, no, Ryan. I think one day I laughed when Ryan said something, but it was just one day. The others I held it in. But one day Ryan told me, Rodrigo. He meant to say, Rodrigo, let's go to the bakery, and he said, Rodrigo, vamos na padaria. I said, what is that intonation, Ryan? Vamos na padaria. But it was just the American intonation of Portuguese.
That's cute. I like that.
Sounded different. Exactly. Like, Kate, do you remember our big and tasty when we ordered big and tasty?
That I have to say that's one of my favorite Portuguese interpretations or Brazilian pronunciations of an American word. The big tasty. Oh, it gets me every single time. Big tasty.
It sounds like the name of a rapper. Big and tasty.
I mean, you're not wrong. Big tasty.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Well, languages has always been big for Caitlin, and yet, Caitlin, what was your first decision of major?
Oh, chemistry. I was a chemistry major, so I'd always wanted to be. I always wanted to be a pediatrician. Ever since I was super little, I was like, I'm going to be a pediatrician, I'm gonna work with kids, be a doctor, blah blah blah. And so I went to school for chemistry, and then I failed out of chemistry, and then I switched to biochem and molecular biology, and I failed out of that too. And then I
Wait, so
switched
you
to
went to
Latin
do
America.
chemistry and you failed out. So you thought, I'll do the harder thing. I'll do the biochemistry because certainly
I was like,
I
well,
should be able to pass that.
yeah, well, I liked biology, and I thought that would be a good, like, my kind of last chance to go into medicine, and obviously I failed at that too, so I just kind of moved on and did something else. Ended up working out though, and now I work in mortgages, which is completely, I don't even need a degree to do that, so
No.
I know.
Kate, yesterday I was listening to another interview because apparently you're famous now. You're big.
No.
I mean, famous. And I heard that you have, or I read it somewhere that you have a Goldman Sachs something like trophy for achievement for being a lifetime achievement or something on the Oscars. What is it?
So what I have is a Goldman Sachs certificate of entrepreneurship. So I kind of have a history of starting businesses, and so I start a business, do it for a little bit, and then transition to something else. But my last business, I ended up selling it. But before I sold it, I got accepted into a Goldman Sachs program. It's called the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program, and it's like for businesses that are of a certain size that want to grow. And it's basically a free 200-hour MBA course, which MBA is like a master's in business administration. And it's totally free, and you just kind of learn a whole bunch of stuff about how to run a business and help it be successful. And then as soon as I graduated from that, I ended up having someone acquire my company, and then I worked for them. I still work for them, but yeah, it's just really that certificate is from the Goldman Sachs course saying that I completed that program.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's official. It sounds official.
It does.
Great. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Caitlin, just want to change things around here. I would like you. I do that in class a lot, and it's been a long time since you haven't seen me, and you don't know Ryan,
Right.
right? So I would like you to use your intellect and ask us questions, like just a couple of questions each.
A couple of questions each.
And please, Kate questions. I want Kate questions.
So peculiar questions.
I'm on the spot. Right now.
But before you ask us, you can think about it. I'll just tell people some stories about you. Kate, once Ryan asked me, that's a little sexist question, but he did ask me. He said, Rodrigo, why do you text like a 12-year-old girl? And I said, well, because I learned to text with Caitlin when she was 17. Yeah. And I learned TMI, OMG, BTW, G2G, all that with Caitlin. So I learned a bunch of Kate words like crumpet, which is a kind of cookie, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say something else, but that wouldn't sound nice. But crumpet, okay, and other words that I don't remember now. So I just wanted to tell them story.
It was just that all of your texts are like completely in lowercase with no punctuation whatsoever, And as often as possible, you contract things. Even when there's no
Yep.
contraction possible, you do.
I still do that. I still do that all the time.
Yeah. And I learned a bit with Travis too. So for example, something
Oh my God.
spelled S-O-M-E and S-O-M-E-I-N, I learned with Travis something. And so that's Travis and Kate that resonates.
Let me tell you about the first time I met Travis in person, real quick. Do you still? When was the last time you talked to Travis? Do you still talk to him?
No.
Well, I was
it's been a long
just
time.
yeah, same here. But I was just finishing up work at the school, and somehow he was like in the area, and he like came and picked me up from the school or something, and I'd never met him before. And immediately we go to a bar and just start taking shots of gin. I'd never had gin before, but I had like 3 shots of gin, and we only hung out for like 20 minutes, and then I went home totally trashed. And that's my first encounter with Travis.
And
First and last or
right?
first?
I think that was my first. I think I only ever hung out with him like twice, but he was very Texan.
That's everything I've heard about Travis. He's from Texas, and that's the entire description.
Yeah.
That's like that's all you need to know. That's just
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
remember one day I was. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I couldn't even. I don't know if I could describe him any other way other than he's from Texas.
Yeah. I remember one day I was riding with Travis. He was in my car. I was driving and we were listening to country music. I was trying to get him to feel more comfortable in Brazil. I don't know. And I was listening to, I think, Trace Adkins. And I was just listening and Travis asked me, not me. He asked me, what did he say there? I said, what do you mean, what did he say? Yeah, I think Trace Adkins is from Texas. I think, I don't know. And he asked me, well, what did he say? I said, all right, Travis, you have to know. You have to know. But he didn't.
Can you understand Scottish English?
No.
Me neither.
No, I like the O's and the R's, like love and grace, great or something. But I love, but I can't really get a hold of it. No.
Sometimes there'll be like an interview with like an actor, like James McAvoy, for example, and he'll do his real accent from Scotland, and I'll be like, "What are you saying, man? Please stop! I cannot understand you."
There was a late night host, Craig Ferguson. His accent was beautiful, but it wasn't. He was Scottish, but I think he had been living in America for a long time, so it was kind of Scottish. It was beautiful to hear. So, Kate, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Do either of you guys spend time on Reddit at all? No?
I do.
You do? What's your favorite subreddit?
Best of.
Oh, come on, give me something more interesting.
But I don't go that deep onto Reddit, you know.
Oh, that's okay. That makes sense then.
Like, okay, I go there for some video game things, like for the video games I play, like Stellaris or Age of Empires. Okay. Go away, Rodrigo. And then I check out Best of and politics for news, and that's all I do on Reddit. I don't.
Okay.
I'm
about
for
the same.
The super deep subreddits.
Okay.
Guys.
Fair enough.
One question. What is Reddit? I know, but for our students, because Ryan keeps telling me, go check out Reddit.
Reddit? Well, all right. It's a website that's very libertarian, I would say, and that the owners, the controllers of Reddit, don't really control it. And how it works is that there are a bunch of different message boards where you can post links or discussions or pictures like memes, and then other users comment and say, this is cool, or this sucks, or this reminds me of this other thing. And then you just have long discussions about things. And it's not
it's like
really
a forum?
moderated at all. It's like a forum, but it's a million different forums about every conceivable topic you could think of.
Mhm.
So it's a website that has forums in it for
Yes.
people
Yeah.
like you and Kate.
Yeah. And then like,
Exactly.
sort of like Facebook, you know, if you like something, then you vote it up, and things that get a lot of votes end up on the front page of Reddit, so that you don't have to go into the individual forums to see it. You can just see it on the front page.
What is your favorite Reddit thing, Kate?
It changes. So right now, let me see. I really like the politics subreddit. I know that's horrible, but I get a lot of my news from there, or a lot of one side of the news that I watch or that I follow. I also like, I don't know, there's one called Catastrophic Failure that's pretty good. That's just things failing in a massive way. Just
Sounds
horrible
like something
fails.
you would like.
Well, I do. All right, I have a question for you, Rodrigo. If you could have a swimming pool full of one single liquid, what would that liquid be and why?
Oh, a Ryan question. That's not a Kate question. That's a Ryan question.
No, this is a question for
Okay.
you.
No, I can't. Okay, but Ryan
It's-
asked.
It's
he
the
keeps
kind of
asking me
question
this
that I would ask.
Wonderful.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, if I could have a swimming pool with one, that would be. Jesus Christ. That's so easy, and I feel so pressured.
Water is the wrong answer. You can't say water.
Damn it. Oh, darn it. Gosh darn it.
We know
I
that
say-
Fabio would choose Coca-Cola, right? Like the Fabio answer is the
Ah.
swimming pool full of Coca-Cola.
Good choice. Good
Yeah.
choice.
I would say
that
root
sounds-
beer.
Really?
Root beer.
Yeah.
Would you swim in the
Just
root
so
beer?
I can. Yes, I would. I would just close my mouth and just swim in root beer because it tastes horrible. Okay, just so I can remember how horrible it tastes. It tastes like Listerine.
Have you heard that, Kate? Like,
Yep.
I tried to introduce root beer to a bunch of Brazilian friends, and they all said it tastes like Listerine.
Yeah.
I just
mouthwash.
remember that they don't like it, but I didn't remember them saying it tastes like Listerine. But I like root beer. I think root beer is delicious.
Of course, it's
Of course,
amazing.
you're both
I don't
American.
understand these people.
A little bit like a root beer float. When was the last time you had a root beer float? Oh,
So long ago.
it's been too long for me too.
Well, at least you can get them. You're in the land of root beer floats.
I am. I used to
Oh.
be like doing a keto diet, and one of my favorite things was to get a diet root beer and put heavy cream in it. Oh, that was so good. It
Mm.
tasted like a root beer float, but without all of the extra sugar in it. Delicious.
Okay. All right, that was a good question. Ryan, when we worked together, Ryan would just call me. Both of us, we were working, and Ryan, Rodrigo, can you come here for a second? Sure. Ryan is the serious one. Ryan is the one that worked, you know? So I said, sure, yeah, it's probably something real. And then I went there and he said, quick question. If you had a time machine, I said, Ryan, where is this going? Bear with me. If you had a time machine and you could go back to any time, or the other question, if you could clone yourself, I said, Jesus Christ, Ryan, why would you even ask me of anyone? You can ask Fabio. Fabio would have fun, but not me, Jesus. Okay. And then he would say something about food, and I'll get entertained.
Hmm. What was your
Like
answer?
if you could,
If you could go in a time machine to anywhere, where would you go?
Well,
I'm curious now.
my answer was that, Ryan, why do you ask me things like that? That was my answer. But okay, I'll answer you, Kate, just for the sake of
Oh,
the.
thanks.
Yeah, I would go back to 2000, to the day you came to Brazil.
Hmm.
Right back at you, okay?
wait, who are you saying that
Meet
to?
you-
Are you
to
saying
meet
it to
you again.
Kate or to me?
Yeah, now he's gonna get jealous. Both of you guys. I would go back
Oh, that's a
Oh,
cop out.
okay.
That's a cop out.
to. Yeah, that's okay. So no, I would go back to the day I met Kate, and I wouldn't say what I said to her when I saw her for the first time.
Yeah.
What did you say to
I would
her?
take that back too.
I looked at her and I said, "Jesus, I hate you. Get out of my face." No, I'm kidding.
That's basically the same thing as what you actually said. So.
Yes. No, I looked at her and I remember we'd been friends for a year maybe before you came back. No, maybe
Yeah,
one. I
something
don't
like
remember.
that.
And yeah, and we talked like a lot. Almost every night I Skyped her and but then I only saw her through my computer screen. And when I saw her, she's tall, or she's taller than I imagined she would be. And then I saw her, and the first thing I said, I translated Portuguese into English, and I said, "Oh, you're big," and and she. That was the first thing I said before I said hello. And then
Yep.
she said, she looked puzzled, like, puzzled and angry and resentful. And she looked at me and she said, "Well, you are quite corpulent too, Rodrigo." And I said, "All right, okay, that's a word. I have to check." Yeah, so I'll go back to that day. Definitely.
Yeah. Tell me, I
You're
can't.
right.
So I remember I remember that interaction, but where is it that we first met? Did we meet at the school or did we meet like
No,
at,
in front of
we did?
Fabio's house.
In front of Fabio's house. That was so surreal, like actually meeting you guys after so long of having talked.
I remember you came and then you went to Interlagos and then you came and you spent some like a week, 2 weeks, I don't know, there. And then you came to Fabio's house and I got you an apartment at Regina's building. Ah. And
was-
then, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I was living. You've heard that probably me talk about that on the last podcast, but I was living with Regina, and then she just basically hated me having me in her house, so I
Yeah.
moved downstairs with her neighbor.
Yeah. She
Who
told
is-
me that that not that she hated you, but she told me that we didn't how can I say, what is the word? I forgot the expression. We didn't, oh my god, hit it off. No, I forgot the expression, but yeah, all right. So could you talk to her? And I said, "Oh, Jesus Christ, Regina, really? She's and then, but then you ended up moving to her neighbor's apartment, right? And it was much better."
Yeah, it was better, except for that apartment it was weird. Like the lady, she would go to the bingo at all hours of the day, and she would lie to me about getting robbed so that I would give her more money so she could gamble more. And then she also had like these 3 little dogs that lived in the streets that stayed inside of her house. and they were all super old, and she would let them shit inside. So she had like this laundry room. She had this laundry room with we don't have them here, but like the rack that like goes down and up that you hang the laundry on. And so right below that rack would be newspaper, and the dogs just would shit all over the newspaper. And then they would
And
hang
so the
my
smell
laundry
would go up into your clean laundry?
into my clothes. I always smelled like dog shit. It was horrible. But what can you do? I don't really have another option.
Oh well. Okay.
And then one of them pooped on my pillow once. I came home and I looked out and I was like, "This is great. This is awesome." Right on my pillow.
Wait, so you had a Brazilian experience all the way?
Complete with a present on my pillow. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Hello.
We're back.
Hey, we're back. Nice.
Hooray.
So Kate, question for you is how would you describe your time in Brazil? Like, you were only here a short time, right? Yeah.
I would say it was hella fun.
Hella fun. Why? Why was it so fun? What made it fun?
Because I don't know. I was 18. I was in Brazil by myself. Obviously, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I was just so grateful and happy that I met so many amazing people over there that I just like still would call friends today. And it was just it was fun because I was just getting to do stuff that I liked with people that I liked, and it was, I don't know, I was just happy almost all the time. Almost all the time, because it was just such a different experience, and it could have gone so many types of ways, and it could have ended really badly, but it ended super well, and I don't know, it was just great. And I had a lot of really cool experiences, and I got to go to Rio, and I got to kind of explore around Brazil, and I felt like my experience that I had was really authentic. Like I just kind of went there and didn't have any particular agenda. I just kind of left myself open to what would happen, and it ended up being really great.
Nice. And you taught at what is the school that you were working at?
ECC.
I think yes.
ECC, right. So I've heard lots of stories about ECC and the general vibe environment of the school, if you want to call it that. Can you remember any experiences, any stories, any amusing anecdotes from your short time at ECC?
I remember the vibe there was like we were kind of just all hanging out, and then every once in a while you had to go teach somebody.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. Let me see. I remember the books that we used. Any weird experiences? Okay, one weird experience that I was thinking about. So I had never, here in America, you don't have to kiss people on the cheeks when you get anywhere. And so I this was like right after I had started working there, and I walked into the break room area, and everybody was there, and I didn't know that you had to like go around and really say hi to everybody. And so like Raphael, you remember, Raphael, not Tonji, but the other one. Yeah.
It's your Rafa.
Yeah, Rafa. So he's super gay. And so he came up to like give me a hug, and I like was this close to like kissing him on the lips because I didn't like turn my head quick enough, and I was mortified for like 2 weeks. And that was like top 10, one of the most awkward experiences I've ever had. I didn't actually kiss him, but I was right about to do it. But thankfully
So when I came to Brazil, I didn't understand the subtlety of kissing people, like that guys kiss girls and girls kiss girls, but guys don't kiss guys. I didn't get that. And so for like the first very long time, I don't know, first several months that I was in Brazil, I just kissed everyone. And like Brazilians are super polite. And so they were too polite to tell me that I was doing something wrong.
Oh no.
And so forever, for way too long, I was just like, hey, how's it going? And I was just kissing everyone. And I'm sure I was causing awkwardness everywhere. But people are too polite to say anything to you.
I could see that.
One thing that happens to me happened now, not really, not so much now that I'm older, and the people I relate to are older too. I never liked kissing on the cheek. I usually just offered my hand to everybody, men and women, and I heard frequently women when they were usually when they saw themselves as pretty, when everybody told them they were pretty and they believed it, uh, and I just offered them my hand, and they looked at me and they said, "What, are you gay?" I said, "Well,
Really?
yeah, that's exactly how gay people behave." Just and
Interesting.
yeah, like at least 5 women already asked me that, especially when there were people around and they thought they were being rejected or something. So I just offered them my hand and they came to kiss me and I just gave them my hand and they were like, "What, are you gay or something?" I said, "Well, it's, I'm sorry." I, and
But if they knew they were
that was,
ugly, they wouldn't act like that?
uh, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But all the times it happened to girls that were that everybody considered pretty and told them they were pretty. All the guys were like, "Wah, rah, 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 rah," and so they to the preppy or popular girls,
Mhm.
uh, they were kind of, "What do you mean you're offering me your hand?" Um, yeah, so I felt weird. I felt
Oh,
weird.
that's so interesting.
Yeah.
So interesting. Yeah. So, Ryan, where do you work now? You're still teaching?
Yeah. So a few years ago, Hadriga probably told you, we tried to start our own school.
Yep.
And because I am not very good at starting businesses and I don't want to blame Rodrigo, I'll take all the blame here. The school did not work out. And we didn't like lose a lot of money, but we wasted a lot of time on it.
Hmm.
And so now I just do private classes from
Okay.
right here.
Fair enough.
Before the outbreak, I was like going to students' houses, going to businesses, and teaching, and that was really cool. Like I got to go around the city every day. I'd like go have lunch somewhere different, see different parks and neighborhoods every day, and that was really fun.
Mhm.
Um, Teaching from home is fine, but I miss going out every day.
Yeah. I'm kind of a hermit, so I like being in my house. Not to mention that right now in the US, being outside is like super risky. So I just kind of hang out at home as much as I can. It's probably the same in Brazil, though. You guys aren't
Yeah,
managing it very well either. So,
it's not any better here. I mean, I'm a hermit too, but like 5 months of being inside is a little much.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, Kate, what do you mean? It's a little risky to go out.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you've seen that people have really politicized being considerate in public by wearing masks. So it's like I go into places where you're like required to wear masks and people still just kind of don't even care and they just kind of pretend like nothing's happening. So you never know where you're going to get infected or who's going to infect you, and the fact that most people really don't care about the well-being of others in the majority of public spaces just kind of makes it so that when you have to go somewhere that there's a lot of people, you just kind of want to get in and get out as quickly as you can, um, because a lot of people really just don't care about anyone except for themselves, which whatever, but
It
kind
seems
of
to me that
annoying.
you're talking it seems to me that you're talking about Brazil at this exact moment.
Oh,
It's
really? Do you guys have
exactly
mask problems too?
Exactly the same. But our president, he signed something saying that. Well, first the somebody, I don't remember, the Supreme Court said masks were mandatory in public spaces. Then the president said, no, no, not at churches or gatherings of people, only
What?
elsewhere. Yes, the president signed something saying that.
So
And
you
so,
have to wear a mask unless you're in a large group, and then you don't have to wear a mask.
exactly.
Basically.
And
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There's
And the like last week, the president was actually diagnosed with
I heard about
with
that.
COVID.
I heard about that.
And like, so he went to the hospital to get his diagnosis, and then it leaked that he was positive. And then he came out to talk to the press about having COVID. And he comes out with his mask, and then he rips off the mask to talk to the press. And they're like right there. And he's like, "Rah, I have COVID, it's fine, haha, big joke, no mask, ha." And everyone's like, dude.
no, Caitlin.
What?
Imagine. Did you watch The Office?
I did. I watched a lot of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched a lot of it.
So imagine Michael Scott in the first season without any of the charisma, and times 1,000. That's our president.
And there's no Jim and there's no Pam to like moderate things. It's just Michael running amok.
Is that really what he's like?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Wow. So who are his main supporters though? Because someone had to support him in order for him to get elected. Who is it that approves of him right now?
As of this moment, 25% of the population still approves of him.
What's the demographic of those
25.
people?
Well, I guess you would know.
Okay. I can make
yeah, we have-
assumptions.
Exactly. So you can make assumptions.
All right,
That's
I will
the
make
But
demographic.
a lot of his support comes from people who hate the other side so
I
much
see.
that yeah. So talking about who supports the president is difficult because so many of his supporters actually just hate the other side, and they don't really support him because saying, okay, you support the president, all right, what do you support about him? He's not them.
Interesting.
And that's
I
the
remember-
entire conversation.
I remember when I was in Brazil, I was there either in an election year or like around an election year, and someone told me that in, I think, Brazilian politics, it's not about choosing who's the best, it's about choosing who's the least bad. And I thought that was so crazy, and then come to find out that that's exactly what happens in America now. And it's a weird feeling. It's a super weird feeling because I was thinking back on it and I was like, wow, I never thought it would be like that, but then it's exactly like that. So weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, I was just we're exactly and the thing here, our president got elected by people that hate the other side, but now something that's happening, it's a little dangerous. It's that the people that hate the other side started to look at him and suspect like what is he doing? I hate the other side, but I'm not crazy. I don't agree with that. So a lot of people are just they're dropping support, and
Okay.
and now what's happening is they're selecting just the very extreme, not extreme, I don't want to say extreme, but extreme people that still support him,
Mhm.
So the 25% of people that still support him, it's after everything he's done. He's done a lot of things. Like in 2018, he hadn't he had said a lot of things, but he hadn't done because he hadn't had a chance to do it. Now he's done a lot of weird, to say the least, weird things, and so 25% of people still support him. I think you have a similar. I think you have a similar situation in America.
Yeah.
Think.
Yeah. I mean, it is pretty similar, except for it's kind of tough to tell what percentage support him because the polls are all over the place and I don't really trust the news. I don't trust the government right now at all, in the least in any way, shape, or form. So I know that there's still a lot of people that support the president here. And the scary thing is they're getting a lot more outspoken about it too than they used to be. So they kind of think they have immunity, like they can do and say whatever they want. So we'll see. This is going to be an interesting year. When's Brazil's next election?
2 years.
This year is a local election, so we get to choose like the mayor and the city council and these people. But for the president is only 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, 2022. Exactly.
Wow, so you got a couple more years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's been talk of our president being impeached, but it's just I don't think it's gonna happen. And to be honest, I don't even know if I want it to happen because it would be our third impeachment in 30 years.
Oh wow.
It's not cool.
And second in 5 years.
Exactly. Second in 5 years.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot.
It's not good for democracy.
No, not at all.
I'm eating. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm eating. The situation made me hungry.
Stress eating.
Stress eating. Yeah.
What are you eating?
Crumpets.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Well, I set it all up here.
So what do you do now, Kate? Like you said you work in real estate. You sold your company, but you still work for it. What does your company do?
So we're a mortgage brokerage. So that means that mortgage is just like obviously a home loan, loan to buy real estate. And so we get clients into our office, and then we have relationships with a lot of different banks and private lenders. And so someone comes to our office or submits an application, we take a look at their application and say, okay, because of the characteristics of your particular profile or what you're looking for, we're going to match you up with a lender that is going to give you the best deal or has a particular scenario that's going to be able to meet your needs. So that's what the company does. What I do at the company is I don't do any of the selling or the marketing or anything. I just kind of do back end. So I do like compliance and human resources and financial stuff and everything that a business needs to run that isn't really sales and marketing. I do a little bit of strategy sometimes, but I kind of leave that up to the owner for the most part. But yeah, that's what I do. And it's like a regular job full time. We're back in the office. I got to work from home for a little bit, but that is no more. Now I'm back in the office like 40, 50 hours a week. So it's all good.
Have you noticed, like Marcus Scott, have you noticed any change to the real estate market this year? Is it?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, as far as like the real estate market itself goes, there's been a pretty significant drop in people that are applying for loans to purchase a home. But right now the interest rates are super, super low. So we have a lot of people that are refinancing, but because of COVID, there have been a lot of pretty significant changes to how we're allowed to issue those mortgages and that financing. So just for example, we have to do questionnaires when someone's about to close to figure out how their job's been affected by COVID. We have to get like extra assurances from the employers and all that stuff. We don't. It's a lot of little stuff. So sometimes the credit score requirements have been raised, so that you have to have a higher credit score to even qualify for stuff. The max amount of cash out you can get out from refinancing your mortgage is a little bit lower than it has been. So it's like a lot of little changes that actually ends up excluding a lot of people from being able to finance their homes, which is, it's pretty sad, but at the same point, it's like, it makes sense. You know, I understand why that's happening. So it's kind of just, you got to roll with the punches, and sometimes you have to tell people, you know, it's not going to work out right now, I'll come back in a little bit. But for the most part, because interest rates are the lowest I've ever seen them in my whole life. I mean, like, you can have an interest rate on a house that's like a 2.5% or a 2.75%, and there's just so many people that are wanting to refinance their mortgages right now that it's just, the amount of business that we're doing is absolutely insane. There's so much business. It's great.
So I've seen a lot in the news, and maybe you don't know about this, but since you work in real estate, I'm curious that now is a really dangerous time for real estate, because like in a few weeks, all of the protections that workers got for the expanded unemployment benefits and all of these rules protecting people from being evicted from their homes are going to expire. And then what is going to happen to the entire rental industry? And then how is that going to, like, what is your opinion as somebody who actually works in the industry? What do you think is going to happen because of that?
So it's kind of tough to say, because speculation is only right a very select small portion of the time. But to be honest, I'm really kind of scared of what's about to happen, because at the end of July, all the protections run out for evictions, foreclosures, and whatnot. But at the same time, all of the extended unemployment benefits will run out as well. So you kind of have this kind of like a peak of all of these really dangerous and unfortunate things happening at the same time. So yeah, I honestly, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be, basically, I'm preparing for the worst. I'm prepared for, you know, a lot of the lenders are allowing people to put off their mortgages or put it in forbearance for 3 months, 6 months, or whatever, and those are about to run out as well. The forbearances on all the mortgages. And so I think that actually a lot of the lenders are extending those forbearances to allow people to not pay for another 3 to 6 months, which is also really scary, because that indicates to me that there's something that they don't want to reveal at this point. Because even prior to all of the forbearances, mortgage defaults and the instances of people not paying their mortgages on time were a lot higher than the market would like to admit. And so COVID being compounded upon that has just really made that a lot worse. And there's going to be a storm of a lot of people that have nowhere to go. And I'm putting together contingency plans for when that happens, because the amount of people that are going to be homeless and that aren't going to be able to support themselves, because I mean, the government, aside from giving us like $1,200 once, really doesn't seem to care about all of the people that are going to be completely down and out, unable to support themselves in about 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then I saw a bunch of like tweets from people just in the last few days that the new deadline for paying the taxes is July 15th. And so there were a bunch of tweets from people saying like, oh, okay, so I lost some money because I was put on leave from work. I lost some money because I lost some projects from my job. I'm a little behind, but there's some savings in the bank. Oh, it's time to pay taxes for real? Oh, there's all of my savings. And add to that all of the the income that local governments and state governments use to pay for like whatever they do. And most of the like programs that homeless people, unemployed people use come from state governments and not the federal government. Most of the money that state governments get come from property taxes. And like what happens if everyone is unemployed, no one can pay their rent, then all of the people who own the houses are out of money. So the government has to choose between, okay, we can either force everyone to go back to work, which apparently is what they're doing, and everyone dies. But it doesn't really work because then people are dying, so they're not going to be paying their rent anyways. And then there's no money for the state to pay for there's no solution here.
Yeah, and that hence why I'm preparing for a collapse of America as I know it. So I think that a lot of people have put too much trust in people that really don't give a second thought to their well-being. And people have kind of been getting away with it for a really long time. And people have just Americans have really kind of, for the longest time, been a victim of the pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality without really holding the government accountable for what they're doing and what they're not doing. And it's been largely kind of not inevitable, but it's gone mostly unnoticed because I'm sure you've heard the phrase, Americans are mostly just temporarily embarrassed millionaires. Everybody thinks they're just down on their luck right now. They're just waiting to make it big. They're waiting until, right now it's just a little bit hard, but I'm going to get there. I'm going to make a whole bunch of money. But in the end, people are starting to realize, or they're about to realize, that that's not the case. And they've just been screwed over for the past couple of decades. And really, they're going to be caught with their pants down. And there's really no good ending to this as I see it. I know, I was like so into the conversation that it's not cool. But yeah, so you're talking about how people are stuck in their houses, and
it was basically the old bread and circuses argument that like Americans are generally very distracted from their lives by stuff, and also by working so much. Generally Americans work more than one job, and so at the end of the day they don't have time to protest.
Exactly.
But this year everyone's stuck at home, everyone's quarantined, there are no sports to watch, and then they realize, hey, we should be demanding more, and that's what happened.
Yep. I absolutely agree with that, and it's I'm glad that it's happening. I'm interested to see what the final outcome will be, because capitalism's grip on the American public is so possible. So I guess we'll see where it goes, but I'm not hopeful. But it's got to change at some point, because all the old people that are controlling everything eventually have to die out. But then again, it could just be. I mean, America has a long history of being the way that it is right now. So it's not to say that the new generation of elites won't just kind of come back in and do the same thing. But maybe I'm being conspiratorial. But I guess we'll see. Time will tell, as it always does.
You just dropped a major C-bomb. Jesus Christ. We never had
capitalism.
Anyone drop.
Capitalism,
yes, exactly.
Conspiracy. I don't know which one you're talking about.
But two, yeah, exactly.
Ooh, both good
Jesus.
Topics. Capitalism is a conspiracy.
Well, it's only a conspiracy theory until it becomes true, and then it's just history. So
that's true.
Oh my God, you guys have been watching X-Files too much.
Well,
right
no, it's like
I want to believe, man. I want to believe.
God, I wish I didn't believe. Life would be so much easier.
Well,
If I just took the blue pill, I'd be so much happier right now.
oh my God, so many references.
I know.
You and Ryan, I can't. No, Jesus. Okay.
That's good. Good stuff.
Kate, I think Ryan, do you have any more questions for her?
Not right now. No.
All right. I have tons, always. Okay. I always need to know a lot from Kate, but I think I'll just hold them in, not ask. But Kate, one last thing that was I didn't remember until I heard in a podcast. You were born in the Bay Area.
Yep. Bay Area, California.
That's where your vibe comes from, not Utah. You have a Bay Area vibe.
Do I? I have kind of a California chilled out personality most of the time.
I didn't say
I'm a
that. I
fish out
said
of
a
water.
Bay Area vibe.
What is a Bay Area vibe? See, I'm like,
Well, make assumptions. No, no, I'm kidding. I'll tell you later. It's just a Bay Area vibe. I don't even know. I was just kidding.
well,
So, one last question before we go. Kate, I learned a lot from you. Okay, a lot of English about life. No, not really. You're crazy. I never. No, I'm kidding. I learned a lot
It's
from
true.
you, like a lot of English. You helped me a lot. I didn't help you with Portuguese at all because we only spoke English for 99% of the time.
Yeah.
You learn Portuguese all by yourself,
Yes.
and you taught me. One day I told you I did something, and you said TMI, so you taught me about TMI, which is too much information. You said OMG, and I said OMG. Oh my God. Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense. As I said before, and you taught me a very nice word that I don't remember what it means. Okay. Can you explain? Maybe Ryan could explain. I guess that would be cooler. Ryan, Kate taught me a word. It sounds nice, okay? She taught me the word crumpet, which is delicious cookie, British cookie, right? And she taught me a word that rhymes with crumpet, which is strumpet, okay? So Ryan, can you explain to us, or no, you can't, and people would just have to
No,
find out about themselves.
I can't actually. Can you explain what a strumpet is, Kate?
I don't know if I should. I think my definition might be a little bit outdated.
Okay.
It might be best to just look it up on Urban Dictionary for all the people who are curious.
Yeah.
Urban,
I think
Urban
that's
Dictionary,
true.
okay.
Urban
Yeah,
Dictionary is the best website. Not the best. Second best.
All
Ready.
right. So then before we say goodbye, Kate, do you have any other questions for us? Anything else you want to ask right before we say adios?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. My brain's pretty drained right now. It's a lot of thinking I've done with y'all. So I just appreciate your time and you guys having me on. So thank you.
Oh, we appreciate you coming. So
Yeah.
thanks. And maybe, we'll have you back later after you
I would
get
love
all
that.
your emergency supplies, build your bunker, and go hide out from civilization somewhere. Hopefully you have
Exactly.
internet so we can call you and check up on you.
Perfect. Yeah. We'll do a post-apocalypse catch up.
Awesome.
Okay.
So thanks for coming, and
Thanks for having
everybody
me.
for watching us today. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and check us out next week. And we'll see you all then. Later.